Today, I want to talk about something that I don't think I've ever heard anyone else talk about. And that is ATC and how I feel like it's very easy to have a toxic relationship with their speakers. ATC speakers sound so beautiful. They have such a wonderful presentation. They have this character to them. All of us, especially you gear space fanatics, love ATC. You do. And I don't blame you. I myself owned a pair of ATCs for a long time and worked tirelessly on, a pair of 45s and 50s and, some time on the 150s. I know a lot about ATC at this particular point. And for me, I now have decided that ATC is like the toxic ex-girlfriend. It's the speaker that makes us love it so much, not for what it helps us do, but what it does to us. It makes us fall so deeply in love with its character, its presentation, its realism, and we end up overlooking some of the things that actually make a lot of ATCs very difficult to work on. Quite frankly, I myself was in the market for new pair of speakers because the ATCs that I had worked on, even all the way up to the 150s, as much as they're much better than the 50s and the 25s and 45s, lack sub information. That was the first thing I noticed. So I was going to spend, that 7K on an ATC sub because of how much I love my 25s. Then I realized, okay, well, maybe it's not just the sub thing. Is the mid-range really that detailed, or is it just mid-forward? Because I'm missing things in the mid-range sometimes, and I don't know how mid-detailed it really is. Also, mixes that sounded really, really good elsewhere didn't always sound that great on the ATCs that I was using in different rooms. There was maybe something off with them, and I thought ATCs were just so revealing, and ATCs were just giving me so much more info that the other speakers weren't. But at the end of the day, I realized that ATC had me brainwashed. It had me in love in the worst way. And I couldn't stop thinking about ATCs when I went out into the world to look for monitors that were going to give me more. What I ended up doing was testing a lot of different monitors, all monitors under the $30,000 price range. In doing so, I ran into, of course, PMC 6.2s. I did also get the chance to get my hands on 8.2s, but it's just too big for this room. I don't know. I wanted to get them, but probably just overkill at this particular point. That said, I absolutely could not believe what 6.2s were doing for me, my engineering skills, my production skills, and making things really easy. The only thing was that they didn't sound like ATCs. They didn't sound I don't know, they didn't have that kind of bitey analogness that ATCs have that really sweeten things up, that make things sound better than they actually are. And that to me was concerning. It made me miss my ATC so much. I got so stressed out. I was ready to run right back to them. I had them in the hallway waiting for me, 25s and 45s. I was just gonna get right to it, but I gave it a chance. And then, when I mixed something on my 6.2s, that was when I realized, even if I love the way the sound is on the ATC so much, they weren't necessarily helping me do my job better. They were just making it a more enjoyable process, I guess. Mixing and recording and all that, just because of the texture it was giving me. My first mix on these 6.2s translated and sounded better than anything that I've touched in years. The first one, there was no adjustment period, there was no learning. It just sounded right off the rip. And my ATCs weren't able to do that for me after working on them for 3 years straight, 45s and 25s. I didn't know how to feel at that particular point besides free. I felt like I'd finally been able to get over something that I'd been fighting for so long and didn't want to see go. And that was those ATC monitors. This is my hot take on ATC as a speaker brand. I think that they are so overpriced. So overpriced. In the process of looking into other monitors, including the 420s monitors, these ones right behind me, the 6.2s, the 8.2s, there are so many great monitoring systems that actually enable you to mix better than ATCs do, but cost the same. For example, the 420s are in the same price point as the ATC 45s. I believe they're not too different. These 6.2s are in the same price point, actually pretty good amount cheaper than the 45s. But both monitors allow you to mix better than 45s do by themselves. You got to look at the people who have ATCs in their studios and what else they have in the studio. Do they have a first or second or third pair of monitors? Are they just using ATCs? Can they get away with just that? And if they are, which ATC are they using? Are they using the 150s? Are they using the 50s or the 100s? Then you start to realize, oh, well, Jason Joshua uses 45s, but he also uses a really big pair of main monitors. You have, people like Tizio who use just 6.2s. and he gets Grammys, often mixing off of one monitor pair. You got people like Andrew Sheps and John Castelli, John has a second pair of PMCs, but Andrew Sheps just has those IB2s up, and he's mastered them. He mixes such amazing records now. He knows what he's doing, for real. Where do people use these monitors? How do they use them? Do they serve every purpose that people need in their studio or not? My answer for you today is that no, they don't do that for you at all. ATCs always require that you get something more. A good friend of mine put it in a really good way, and I hope he's cool with me saying it. He'll see this and he'll probably let us know in the comment section. But he said ATC is like a monitor that rolls with a click. It's like it has a gang. And if you don't have, like if you're not cool with other members of that gang, then ATCs are not going to agree with you. Other members of that gang might be a particular DAC or a particular mic or a super specific piece of outboard or whatever it is. It kind of locks you in, and it forces you to really overmix things sometimes and use so many different tools to get to a result when it's really not that necessary. And I completely agree with that statement. It just makes you really closes you into a box, makes you pay attention to things like DAW sounds and other things that don't really matter as much as I thought they did. The ATCs were doing this to me, guys, and I'm sorry. ATC, I've now left you entirely. I will not be coming back, probably. And I've moved on completely to PMC and other monitor brands. I really like Focals for production. The twins are really nice. The old ones, I don't like the new ones. I like Yamaha still, you know. I like Neumann's. I like all these other brands. ATC, you've just given me a headache. You've left me lovesick and messed up. And now I'm here and I've moved on. I've moved on to bigger and better things, ATC, and I'm sorry. That's my hot take, guys. I'm sorry. I had to just talk directly to ATC there for a sec. I don't know if I seem like a crazy person. I don't know. This monitor journey, this whole music journey is just ridiculous, really. It is, isn't it? It turns you into a crazy person, but that's kind of what's necessary. So here I am, just really locked into PMC. So hopefully this gave value, or hopefully someone resonated with this, because PMC as a brand absolutely annihilates ATC. They have everything that ATC doesn't and more. And PMC as a brand overall, just honestly, really good job to you. Your customer service sucks, PMC. I emailed you and you told me to talk to the rep at the store. So the rep at the store didn't know a whole lot. So when I email you next time, you better answer me. Paid too much money for these speakers to not get an answer. ATC, you've done fantastic with your customer service, and your reps are just lovely people. So thank you very much for your service while I had you. That said, also PMC, you put more information in your manuals. Like there was nothing about the AES stuff. There was nothing about, you know, you really kind of hid some of the truths in that manual, and you need to be more honest about certain things, honestly. But you guys gave me a great product, so I don't know, what am I going to say? You can still slap me around, but you give me a really good speaker, so here I am, still using it. I digress. Hopefully this helps somebody. This gives you some insight into the whole ATC PMC conversation. I know it's going to become bigger and bigger as time goes on, because they're the only two monitors anyone wants to talk about right now, really. So enjoy. With that said, congratulations on your hopefully moving on from ATC. I've done it. I feel great. And that is all I have to say. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy. Please do comment, like, share. Love the support. And yeah, I'll be back with some more content very soon. Thank you very much. And ciao.